If you ask most folks from my generation who the first American to set foot on the moon was, they'd probably spit out Neil Armstrong's name without missing a beat. But if you pressed them on who the first American to land there really was, hell, they'd draw a blank or mutter something about no one from the Stars and Stripes ever touching down after Apollo. That's the official line anyway. The truth they won't whisper? Right before the Soviet Union crumbled in '91, there was a Black Ops moonshot that nobody talks about. Sure, the Cold War painted us as mortal enemies on paper, but off the record, Russians and us Yanks weren't so different. We'd both stared down the Nazis 50 years back, shared foxholes in the snow, traded cigarettes and bad jokes. That old alliance simmered under the surface, ready to flare up when the suits needed it. I can't spill every detail. Most of it's locked under the Official Secrets Act till 2040, probably extended another 50 after that. The scraps of paper they handed me, snatched back and torched in a furnace under the Pentagon. But I can tell you the when and where. Mid-June 1989, that's when they tapped me. Can't pin the exact day anymore, but I remember the knock like it was yesterday. I was hunkered in my office at Georgetown, buried in psych journals on collective hallucinations, when these two spooks in off-the-rack suits barged in. No hello, no appointment, just a gravelly professor, you're needed. Now. Their voices were flat as Kansas asphalt, the kind that brooked no argument. I figured it was some admin BS, another grant review or tenure hassle. Played along, grabbed my coat, let 'em march me out to a black Crown Vic idling curbside. The drive was dead silent, save for the passenger up front murmuring into a dash-mounted radio now and then. Static crackled like distant thunder. An hour later, I'm cooling my heels in a windowless box of a room somewhere deep in DC. Probably Langley, though they never said. The carpet was plush as a senator's ego, swallowing sound like a grave. Door swings open without a creak, and in piles a dozen suits, mid-40s and up, half with that thick Moscow drawl, all clutching dog-eared folders fat with classified guts. They ignore me at first, yammering in a polyglot storm, Kremlin jargon mixed with Beltway buzzwords that flew right over my egghead skull. Then one old Ruskie, eyes like chipped flint, leans in with a growl. Last human boots on the moon? December 14, 1972. Almost 20 years cold. We gotta know if they're still up there. I blinked. Them who? Apollo 17 came home fine. Eugene Cernan, Harrison Schmitt, Ronald Evans. Grainy footage, ticker tape parades, the works. The room froze. They stared like I'd just confessed to voting commie. The old man, Kratzov, I learned later, fixed me with a pitying squint. You think we feared mere men on the moon, comrade? He dragged the word out like it was a hook in my gut. I mumbled something lame about supplies running dry, hydrogen cells failing, but he waved it off. You got no inkling what we know lurks up there. He slid a stapled stack my way. Top sheet screaming classified level 7 in block letters, nothing else. I flipped it, and the air turned sour, like ozone and rust. First photo, lunar regolith, stark and pitted, but in the hazy distance, a structure. Not a rock formation, something angular, veined with black threads that pulsed faint under the sun's glare, like capillaries in dead flesh. Second, a Soviet lander, cleaved clean from stem to stern. No blast marks, no shrapnel, just a surgical slice, edges gleaming like they'd been cauterized. Cyrillic script scarred the hull, half erased by whatever did the deed. Third hit like a gut punch. A spacesuit sprawled in the dust, visor spiderwebbed and burst outward. Inside? Not a body. Remnants. Frozen guts splayed like abstract art, ribs cracked open, helmet smeared with icy slurry that used to be a face. Looked like it'd been yanked through the glass at Mach speed, eyes bulging in eternal scream. Fourth, a cluster of suits, maybe 5, dotted 75 yards off, poses frozen in supplication, arms outstretched toward that distant structure. No blood, no struggle marks, just posed. I swallowed bile, the room spinning. Kratsov lit a cigarette, smoke curling like specters. October 68, Russian lunar touchdown. 6 clicks from where Apollo 17 squatted in 72. Yanks thought our tech was junk wrong. We beat 'em, but radio went dark 5 hours post-landing. Plutonium cell fritzed, we figured. Couldn't lift off, couldn't squawk. Victory and clusterfuck rolled into one. Kept it tighter than Stalin's fist. Crew's families got pensions. No parades. A Texan in the corner stubbed his smoke on the oak table, ash scattering like fallout. Cut the red propaganda, Kratsov. Spit it out. He shrugged, unperturbed. Fine. Yanks touched down July 69, then 4 more times, last in December 72. That December 22, we got word from Houston, off Books Channel. Apollo 17 crew spots an unknown module. Ours, they figured. Sent pics. Confirmed Russian bird. Then the Texan cleared his throat, voice like boot leather. Tell him what y'all found, comrade. Kratsov nodded. The Texan rifled notes. Debris field round the module. Human remains, decapitated. Heads not blown off, sucked clean. Jaws unhinged, necks fractured like porcelain. Crew panicked, unanimous, get us the hell home. But the command module was out of alignment, had to hunker till burn window. From inside the LM, they saw 'em. Figures, prowlin', the gear we left out, 20 feet off, scratching at the hull like cats on a screen door. Those LMs? Built for vacuum, re-entry Gs, not siege. I croaked. So why'd the crew look peachy at splashdown? Smilin' for the cameras, splashin' in the Pacific like heroes. He near grinned, a wolfish flash. Those grins? Not the real boys. The men who came back? Shells. Physically sound, but minds? Shredded. Sedated half the time just to feed 'em. Rantin' about shadows with stares that peeled your soul. One swore a figure locked eyes. No eyes, just voids suckin' thoughts, pumpin' terror straight to the amygdala. We quarantined 'em, deep black. Actors handled the press junkets till they recovered. Never did. Sweat slicked my palms, pages damp. Next shot, a glimpse of one. Tall as a grizzly on hind legs, 9 feet easy. Shadow stuff, limbs like oil-slick tentacles, outline etched in negative space. I slammed it shut. What the hell's this got to do with me? A suit across the table piped up. Psych prof, we need assurance. If our next crew cracks, you patch 'em. I laughed, brittle. 18 months in a loony bin don't make me moon whisperer. You saw what those things do, rip minds at 250 miles. Why send anyone back? Apollo boys barely scraped by alive if you call droolin' at 40 alive. Kratsov bristled but slid the stack back. Read it over, comrade. Change your mind, holler. I snatched it to dodge the glare fest, let the goons hustle me back to campus in the Vic. That night, alone with the docs, I almost caved. First-hand tales of ungodly shadows flaying psyches, tempting for a shrink. But nah, too raw. Filed it in a lockbox, tried to forget. Launch, Baikonur, December 22, 1990. 3 souls, 1 Yank, 2 Ivans. Names lost to fog. January 90, post-holidays, I get the call. Bring the papers, tomorrow. I balked, told you I'm out. But they cooed respect, no psych evals required, just show. Same goons, same silent ride. This time down to the basement furnace level under Langley. Kratsov and crew waited, faces grayer than ash. Good to see you, in a way, comrade. I bristled at the commie tag. No evals, why drag me? He stared at the concrete. Mission tanked. Comms glitch? Worse. Ice prickled my spine. Gear held till the feed, then they were waitin'. Landed 3:45 a.m. Christmas morn. 3:47 crew on cam checkin' seals. 3:48 ripped apart. Hull buckled inward like a tin can crushed by God. Decapitated mid-stride, blood freezing in globules. Printers upstairs spewing warnings. Stay from the dead rock. We claim your fears as tribute. Cyrillic, English, hand-scrawled, impossible. I gaped. Figures, mechanical fail? No, Kratsov's eyes bored in. They're scouts, warned off twice. 68, 72. Thirds war, not bullets, psyche siege. They'll flood your skull with every demon you buried. I handed over the briefcase, no cause regret that. He marched to a grate, lid clanging open on hellfire glow, heat blasting like dragon breath. Papers whooshed in, flames devouring secrets. No dups, mission never flew, slam. Find your ride, comrade. Paths may cross again, next time, mandatory. We didn't shake, I bolted, heart hammering. 97, PsychCon in Midtown Manhattan. I'm nursing a scotch in the hotel bar, schmoozing eggheads on trauma loops with drum out when comrade booms. Kratsov, civilian slacks, no medals, but that scar-lipped grin. Bar's haze clung like guilt. He clutched brandy and a stogie, smoke wreathing his skull like a halo from hell. Kratsov? Stateside schmooze, he chuckled gravely. Tracked you. Uni said you jumped ship. Few calls, greased palms. Here for the con? Nah. Old business. We hunkered in a dim booth. What now? Post-USSR gig? Smart play. Sip. When the bear bled out, I liquidated tanks, jets, ammo dumps. Eastern Bloc got fire sale deals. 100 T-72s for peanuts, paperwork fudged to 700. Gold bars or Benjamins only, no bank sniffin'. Bixers, envelope of C-notes. Knew nothing, cared less. Cares knew zilch, I whistled. Ballsy moon mess? Mood soured. Private quarters, comrade. Bar to my room, neon flickering like bad omens. Chairs dragged face to face, minibar raided. What killed 90? Sigh. Felt cursed from cradle, couldn't halt, cog in the red machine. Post-68 flop, we pinged 'em. Not the shadows, higher. Open line, probes with semi-samples are germanium duds. Explained woes and glyphs. Back came fixes. Swapped to silicon, etch chems for lithography. Flawless. Scaled it, boom, Soviet chips leap decades. How'd you ship? Probes, dumb and dirty. They tweaked ours, lobbed returns. Yanks too, our moles snagged Intel guts, identical processes. Coincidence? Bull. They juiced capitalism with gadgets, we armored the motherland. Chill hit. Why hostile then if they're given tech? He leaned, voice dropping to crypt wind. No fear in 'em, instinct only, self-preserve, but they wield terror like a blade. Traded knowledge for cooperation. Mine probes on your kind. Experiments? Psyche vivisections. Alter few, slip 'em into the herd, watch ripples. Prophets? Their handiwork. Centuries back, seeded visions. Burning bushes, nailed gods. Billions hooked on fear dreams. Mouth dried. Jokin'. Dead serious. Catholic kid myself, swallowed it whole till truth hit. Most holy men, lab rats, post 2000, 2 millennia from one prophet's squall, they ramp up. Anti-prophets, seeds of doubt, twisting the old faith into knives. Turn kin on kin, not for gold or glory, for echoes of alien whims. I paced, room closing. Outcome? Chaos from within, ideology as virus, our own breed the plague, thinking it's divine. We shifted to small talk, giants' box scores, kids' graduations, till he eyed my Nikon on the dresser. Snap me, souvenir. Click, click. Copy next meet? Never came. No Facebook then, no easy pings. Kratzoff faded like smoke. Now September 16, 2025. Me gray and ghosted in a cabin off the Shenandoah, psych texts gathering dust. Dreams, relentless. Me on the regolith, shadows circling, whispering dead relatives' sins in my ear. Waken soaked, mirrors fogged with Cyrillic warnings. Last full moon scratches on the pane, deep, deliberate. Gape in, and my reflection blinks wrong, pupils black as voids, grinning. They chose me long ago, moon's callin', and this time I might answer.